There's a type of woman Machiavelli wrote about in coded language. He never named her directly. He buried the warning in chapters about power and seduction. But every prince who read between the lines understood. When the right kind of man encounters this woman, something happens that looks like love but operates like warfare, and most men never see it coming. Tonight you learn what Machiavelli was actually warning about. But here is what nobody tells you. The danger is not that she destroys weak men. The danger is that she only destroys strong ones. And by the time you realize what is happening, she has already won. Machiavelli called her Sophia in his private letters. Not a name, a code? Sophia means wisdom in Greek, but he was not talking about intelligence. He was talking about a woman who understands male psychology so deeply that she can reprogram a man's entire reality without him noticing the installation. She does not chase power. She does not demand attention. She does not play the games that obvious women play. And that is exactly what makes her lethal. Because the man who can resist every other woman walks straight into her without his defenses raised. He thinks he found something rare. He has no idea he just triggered a mechanism 500 years old. Here is the anomaly that Machiavelli documented, and this is where it gets strange. Every prince who fell to Sophia had one thing in common. They were not weak men. They were not fools. They were not inexperienced with women. They were the opposite. Battle-tested leaders. Men who had resisted manipulation their entire lives. Men who other men looked to for strength. And yet when they encountered Sophia, they made decisions that destroyed everything they had built. Machiavelli watched this pattern repeat across Italian courts. Different men, different women, same result. And he realized something nobody else had seen. This was not random attraction. This was a specific type of mind meeting a specific type of strategy. And the collision was predictable, but here is the problem. The official story about dangerous women focuses on the obvious ones, the manipulators everyone can see, the dramatic ones, the demanding ones. Those women are easy to identify and easy to resist. Sophia is different. She does not fit the pattern you were taught to watch for, and that is the first layer of protection she has. Your defenses are calibrated for the wrong threat. Think about the last relationship that confused you. Not the toxic one you saw coming, the one that felt different, the one where you questioned yourself more than you questioned her. That confusion was not your intuition failing. That was Sophia's signature. Because here is what Machiavelli understood about power. The most effective control never announces itself. Let me show you what happens when the right mind encounters Sophia. And pay attention because this unfolds in 7 stages. Most men never recognize the pattern because each stage feels natural. Every other woman you have met made her interest clear. She flirted. She created opportunities. She sent signals. Sophia does the opposite. She is present but not pursuing, friendly but not flirting, aware of you but not focused on you. And this does something to the male brain that most women do not understand. It reverses the polarity. You the pursuer without ever pursuing you. This is stage 1. And most men do not realize they have already lost position. The second stage is strategic mystery. You start conversations with her. She responds but never fully. She reveals pieces but never the whole picture. Leaves something unsaid. This creates what psychologists call an information gap. Your brain experiences incomplete information as tension. And it will work obsessively to close that gap. You find yourself thinking about her when she is not around. But because your mind is still trying to complete the puzzle she created, she has moved into your mental space without ever demanding to be there, and this is where Machiavelli's warning becomes critical. Most men at this stage believe they are choosing to think about her. They are not. She has engineered a cognitive loop that runs automatically. The third stage is the moment of selective vulnerability. After weeks or months of mystery, she reveals something personal. A truth she claims she never tells anyone. And she reveals it too. This does something catastrophic to male psychology. The man who has been trying to understand her suddenly feels chosen. He has no idea this reveal was timed and strategic. but the timing is calculated. She waited until your interest was established. Then she gave you the peace that makes you feel like you succeeded. Your brain releases dopamine. You feel like you won something. And in that moment of feeling special, your defenses drop completely. But there was one detail Machiavelli documented that historians ignored for centuries. The moment when Sophia revealed her wound. The nobleman said it felt like watching a fortress gate open specifically for him. He felt chosen by someone who chose no one. What Machiavelli recorded next is disturbing. The nobleman walked through that gate, and the gate closed behind him. He spent the next 3 years trying to reach that level of intimacy again. She had shown it to him once, just enough to prove it existed. Then she withdrew it, and he would do anything to get back to that moment when she let him in. We will come back to why this matters. But first you need to see stage 4, the fourth stage is manufactured scarcity. She is busier than she was. She has other commitments. She is still interested, but she has a life that does not revolve around you. And this does something that most men misinterpret completely. It makes you want her more. You tell yourself you are not that guy. You do not chase. You do not get needy. But you find yourself working harder to see her. Adjusting your schedule. She has inverted the power dynamic without ever demanding power. You are giving it to her voluntarily because scarcity creates value. This is the phase Machiavelli called the mirror. Sophia begins reflecting. Your ideal back to you. Not obviously, subtly, she shares an interest you mentioned weeks ago. She references something you value. She demonstrates understanding of your goals in a way nobody else has, and here is the trap. You start to believe she is the only person who truly understands you. That she sees you in a way others do not. That connection with her is different from connection with anyone else. You have no idea she is reflecting information you gave her. She is not understanding you. She is showing you yourself. And humans are narcissistic enough that seeing ourselves reflected feels like love. Stage 6 is the escalation of investment. You have told friends about her. You have made plans that include her. You have started imagining a future that involves her. And she has done something brilliant. She has never asked for any of this. You gave it voluntarily, which means you cannot blame her. You cannot say she manipulated you because she never demanded anything. She just existed in a way that made you invest everything. And now you are in too deep to walk away without losing everything you have already put in. This is the sunk cost trap. It feels like you finally found something worth investing in. The 7th stage is the one Machiavelli warned about most urgently. And most men never see it until it is too late. This is the stage where she makes you choose, not dramatically, not with ultimatums, but with subtle incompatibility between her and the life you built before her. Your ambitions require time she wants. Your friendships bother her in ways she never quite explains. Your independence feels like distance to her. And slowly, without realizing it, you start choosing her over the things that made you strong. You tell yourself it is compromise. It is not. It is systematic dismantling. And by the time you realize what you have lost, she has become so central to your identity that removing her would require rebuilding yourself from nothing. Here is what Machiavelli observed in the courts of Florence, and this is the part that should disturb you. The men who fell to Sophia were not stupid. They were not weak. They were strong men who encountered a strategy specifically designed to defeat strength. Because Sophia does not want weak men. Weak men have nothing to take. She wants the man who has built something, who has power, resources, respect, independence. She wants the fortress, and she does not attack it. She gets invited in. Then she becomes so essential to its operation that removing her would collapse everything. Why does this only work on certain men? Why are some men immune while others fall completely? Machiavelli identified the specific mind that is vulnerable. And if you have been paying attention, you already know if this is you. The right mind is the man who prides himself on being different, on being disciplined, on being immune to female manipulation. He has watched other men get destroyed by obvious women, and he has concluded he is smarter than they are. His confidence in his own strength is his vulnerability. Because he does not defend against threats, he believes he is too intelligent to. Fall 4. Sophia does not defeat strong men. Here is what Machiavelli prescribed, and most men ignore this because it requires admitting vulnerability. First, you must accept that you are not immune. No matter how disciplined you are, no matter how much experience you have, the mechanism that makes Sophia effective is built into male psychology. It is not a character flaw. It is a feature. Second, you watch for the pattern, not the person. Stop looking for red flags in her behavior. Start recognizing the stages in your own. Are you pursuing someone who never pursued you? Are you thinking about someone more than the interaction warrants? Are you feeling special because of selective? Vulnerability? These are not signs she is Sophia. These are signs the mechanism is operating in you. Third, you maintain external validation. The man who falls deepest is the man who makes her his only source of understanding. Keep friendships. Keep mentors. Keep people in your life who knew you before her and will tell you when you are changing in ways that concern them. Watch your investment rate. If you find yourself investing more than she is, if you find yourself adjusting your life while she adjusts nothing, if you are doing all the work while she just exists and receives, stop. That imbalance is not temporary. It is the design. Fifth, and this is the hardest, you must be willing to walk away from something that feels perfect. Because the trap Sophia sets is not obvious pain. It is perfect comfort. It is understanding that feels unique, which is exactly why most men do not walk away. Here is Machiavelli's final warning about Sophia, and let this land properly. Every man who fell convinced himself she was different. She was not like other women. This connection was special. But Machiavelli documented dozens of these cases, different women, different men, same 7 stages, same outcome. What felt unique was actually a pattern 500 years old. But the mechanism is identical. You are not encountering a unique person. You are encountering an ancient strategy that has been defeating strong men since before. Machiavelli documented it, and here is the disturbing truth that most men never accept. You felt something while reading this: recognition, defensiveness, the urge to explain why your situation is different. The man who believes he is too smart to fall for Sophia is the man she defeats most completely, because he will explain away every warning, rationalize every stage, defend her against his own intuition, until he wakes up one day and realizes he is not who he was, and she is the only constant that remained. Your move.